going to happen.
One of the other interesting things about your family, you said you didn't realize that y'all didn't have money, that your mother and your parents taught you to feel sorry for people who had money.
Well, that's the genius of my mom and dad. You know, we weren't poor, but we were by no means well off, you know. But growing up, my brothers and I, we wanted the things that you look around and you see. But the genius of my mom and dad wasn't that they made us feel okay about not having money. They actually made us pity the rich.
How?
So, like, if you're watching television one day, as I was maybe 8, I was watching an Orioles game, and there was a commercial for an amusement park in Ocean City, Maryland, and it looked great. You know, kids on rides, and they're smiling, and they're laughing, and everybody's having a great time. And my mom and dad are sitting behind me, and they can tell that I'm watching the TV, and I'm really into it, man. I mean, this looks like great fun. And real quiet, my dad says to my mother, just loud enough so I can hear it, "Those poor, stupid idiots on that roller coaster. They look like they're sick." And then my mother says, "You're right, John, they're probably going to vomit on each other." And then my father says, "You know, it's a shame, isn't it, that kids these days need rides to be entertained?" Oh. And then my mother says, "You know, John, it really is a shame, but not all kids have a nice woods behind their home that they can play in."
Did you fall for it?
I fell for it.
You fell for it. I love it.
I used to... my buddies used to get, you know, like takeout pizza, you know, delivered to their home and Chinese food. And I said to my mother one night, you know, why don't we order a pizza? You know, that's what Bobby and his... And my father's like, Michael, just because Bobby's mother is a terrible cook doesn't mean you should make fun of them for not being able to cook, you know, at home. And I'm like, well, now I didn't understand. And then suddenly they have a whole conversation about how sad it is for kids to have mothers.
Okay, that is one of the best parenting tips I've ever heard. I'm gonna like, that is amazing. So as I mentioned, your book is full of mysteries that really leave us guessing until the end. You wanted us on this journey with you. So it's memoir meets mystery. I've never heard of anything like that.
Neither had the publisher. They're upstairs right now, hoping to God somebody buys this thing. And I think they will, because really, my podcast has done well over the last few years. The original idea was take 50 stories from your podcast, which are mysteries about famous people, people you know. You get to figure out who I'm writing about as I tell you their story. But my mother looked at it and said, "Oh, so these are stories you've already written?" And I said, "Well, yeah, we're going to put them in a book." And she said, "Well, that sounds awfully lazy, Michael." So what I did, she was right. So really what the book is a collection of 35 stories about famous people I've never met, interrupted by a memoir I didn't mean to write. And so what you get is a look at people I've always been fascinated by, and then an explanation as to why I wrote about them. So I wound up revealing a whole bunch of stuff I probably...
About yourself?
Yeah, honestly. You know, stuff, I mean, I never really wanted to write a memoir. I just don't feel like I'm old enough or, you know, have done enough. But as it turns out, it's the book that wanted to be written.
Well, and as you said, the way I heard it, it's what you've heard. So you, a young man, too early for a memoir, but what you've heard is a lifetime.
Well, it's also called that, honestly, because everybody today seems to be so certain about every single thing that they say. And everybody's reaching for their phones to check this fact or that. Is that fake news? Is that real? And, you know, online, if I say anything at all, you know, thousands of people will go, "Well, Mike, are you sure about that?"
Oh, I know.
So it's like, look, here's the way I heard it. Maybe you heard it different.
I love that.